Hello, welcome to TTV News. Ladies and gentlemen, on October 12th at the Provincial Party Committee halls, the four national goods mediator contests in the southern regions were organized by the Central Coordination Council for Laws Dissemination and Education in collaboration with the Provincial People's Committee, Provincial Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee, with the attendance of Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tịnh, Vice Chairman of the Central Coordination Council for Laws Dissemination and Education, Deputy Minister of Justice, Head of the Competition Organizing Committee, Mr. Lê Vệ Quốc, Directors of the Departments of Legal, Dissemination and Education. In the southern regions, there were 20 competitions teams from provinces and cities, including Bình Thuận, Đồng Nai, Bình Phước, Tây Ninh, Bình Dương, Hồ Chí Minh, Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu, Long An, Tiền Giang, Bến Tre, Trà Vinh, Vĩnh Long, Đồng Tháp, An Giang, Cần Thơ, Hậu Giang, Sóc Trăng, Bạc Liêu, Kiên Giang, Cà Mau. Some contents were supplied, such as mediation skills of mediators, law on conciliations at the grassroots level, basic rights and obligations of citizens according to the 2013 Constitution, legal regulations in a number of areas related to grassroots conciliation work. The contest is organized as a group competitions in theatrical form, including 3 competitions in each round. The teams introduce its members, perform theory and skit contests. The Southern Regional Contest is held in TayNinhTV Province on October 12 and 13, 2023. In the morning of October 12 in Tây Ninh, emulation group number 8 of the People's Cause, including 7 provinces, Đồng Nai, Bình Thuận, Lâm Đồng, Tây Ninh, Bình Phước, Bình Dương, Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu, organized half a conference to summarize the emulation and reward work in 2023, chaired by Mr. Nguyễn Trí Tuệ, standing Deputy Chief Justice of the Supreme People's Court. It was attended by Mr. Phạm Hùng Thái, Permanent Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Head of the Provincial National Assembly Delegation, Ms. Nguyễn Thị Tuyết Vân, Chief Justice of the Provincial People's Court, Head of the Emulation Cluster.
In 2023, 265 collectives and 2,509 individuals in the entire cluster are rewarded. The rate of individuals not holding leadership or management positions were rewarded reached 60.4%. The entire cluster has 60 typical and advanced models. For handling and resolving various types of cases in 2023, emulation cluster number 8 has reached 85.06%. Conciliation and dialogue reached 90.6%. At the conference, delegates focused on discussing, sharing, and proposing solutions to improve the quality of emulation and reward work, experience in organizing emulation movements, and building advanced examples. Speaking to direct the conference, Mr. Nguyễn Trí Tuệ acknowledged and congratulated the achievements that the People's Cause of Emulation Cluster number 8 has achieved. At the same time, basically agree with direction and tasks in 2024, focus on innovating and improving the quality of patriotic emulation movements in the direction of focusing on building emulation targets close to key requirements. The work and theme of emulation throughout the court system is serve merit, be skillful, be public-minded, and be impartial, with the motto be close to the people, understand the people, help the people, learn from the people.
In the morning of October 12 at the City Party Committee Hall, Ms. Hoàng Thị Thanh Thúy, Deputy Head of TayNinhTV Provincial National Assembly Delegation, chairs a thematic voter contest conference before the 6th session, 15th National Assembly. As the voter contact conference, Ms. Hoàng Thị Thanh Thúy informed voters of the expected program contents of the section on October 23, 2023. At the same time, she also acknowledged voters' comments on the draft law on forces participating in protecting security and order as the grassroots. The draft law on forces participating in protecting security and order as the grassroots, including 5 chapters and 34 articles regulating the position, function, tasks, principles of organizations, and operation for participating forces. Protect security and order as the facility. Voters, especially those working in the police section, actively contributed comment on the contents of the draft law. Voters were very excited when the draft law stipulated that people participating in the grassroots security and other forces will receive regular monthly support, social insurance, health insurance.
Facing the situation of no longer a qualified location to gather, supervise and transfer import and export goods at Samad International Border Gate, on October 4, the Customs Department sent an official dispatch to the Standing Committee of the Provincial Party Committee and the Provincial Appeals Committee for the above situation. According to the Customs Department, every day there are about 50 vehicles delivering and receiving goods through Samad International Border Gate. During the agricultural harvest season, there are about 200 to 250 vehicles delivering and receiving goods at the border gate every day. Meanwhile, the infrastructure has not been able to meet a number of issues such as the flow of exported, imported and transited goods, means of transport on exit and entry, and the daily traffic that is expected to increase in the near future. It may lead to failure to meet custom inspection and supervision conditions at the border gate. Based on the General Department of Customs, the Provincial Customs Department has issued a written report and recommendation to the Provincial Appeals Committee on arranging locations to ensure eligibility for custom inspection and supervision for the Customs Agency to carry out physical inspection, supervision, and loading of import and export goods according to legal regulations. If they have not been arranged, the Provincial Appeals Committee is requested to consider granting Tân Hưng Cường Limited Liability Company temporary permission to gather, inspect and supervise export and import goods. According to a survey by the Customs Department, this location has been built and has been inspected by the Customs Agency to meet the conditions for inspection and supervision. The Provincial Party Committee's Propaganda and Training Department on October 12 organized the Provincial Rapporteur Conference in October 2023 in a direct and online form from the provincial level to the district, equivalent and commune level. Mr. Nguyễn Quang Thắng, Vice Head of Propaganda and Training Department, informed about the topic, results of state's visit to Vietnam by U.S. President Joe Biden. Mr. Phạm Văn Tâm, Deputy Director of the Provincial Social Insurance, provided information on the topic, the situation of using social insurance funds in the first 9 months of 2023, and social insurance and health insurance policies that changed from July 1, 2023. Mr. Võ Văn Quý, Deputy Director of the Radio and Television Station, provided specialized information, some initial results in implementing financial independence of the Radio and Television Station, tasks and solutions to ensure good implementation of political tasks and exploitation of revenue sources to maintain operation, building for TTV 11 to grow more and more. In the coming time, the Provincial Party Committee's Propaganda and Training Department oriented propaganda on the provincial planning for the period of 2021-2030 with a vision to 2050. The Prime Minister has just decided to reduce land rent by 30% in 2023. Thanks to that, the business community has more resources to promote production and business. This decision takes effect from November 2023. Organizations, units, businesses, households, and individuals that are directly leasing land from the state according to decision or contract or certificate of land use rights and housing ownership and other assets attached to land of competent state agencies in the form of land lease with annual payments. Applicable regulations is included cases which the land renter is not eligible for land rent exemption or reduction, the land rent exemption or the reduction period expired, and cases which the land rented is receiving land rent reduction according to the provisions of the law on land law or other relevant laws. This policy is not applied for the outstanding land rent for the years before 2023 and the late payment interest, if any. It is calculated on the land rent payable revenue generated in 2023 according to the provisions of law. In case the land tenant is receiving a reduction in land rent according to regulations or a deduction of compensation and site clearance according to the law on land rent, the 30% reduction in land rent is calculated on the amount of land rent payable, if any, after being reduced or deducted according to the provisions of law, except for the amount of land rent reduced according to Decision Number 1, dated January 31st, 2023 of the Prime Minister. In the morning of October 11, 2023, the delegation of officials and prosecutors of the People's Democratic Republic visited and worked with the People's Procuracy of the province on skills and experience in procuracy. Following and working with the delegation at the People's Procuracy of the province, there was Mr. Ngô Văn Hối, Director and the collective of the provincial and district officers and prosecutors. At the meeting, the two sides exchanged and discussed issues related to the People's Procuracy profession. This is a very important activity, not only cementing the professional cooperation relationship, enhancing mutual understanding between the two countries' procuracy, but also contribute to deepening the traditional friendship, special solidarity, and comprehensive cooperation between Vietnam and Laos. At the monitoring meeting in localities, members of the monitoring delegation also pointed out some shortcomings in the implementation of targets and criteria in building new rural communes, although they have been recognized as meeting standards, but as the formal, the maintenance is not sustainable. In the criteria for roads, most of the rural roads have been interested in reinvestment and hardening. However, some localities built to meet standards do not seamlessly build drainage system. After a period of use, it has deteriorated, damaged and not repaired. Or in terms of income criteria, some communes that meet this criterion report people's income at the time of being sample high due to income generated from land sales rather than from sustainable livelihood. In the target of communes with effective cooperatives, most localities have established cooperatives, but the activities of cooperatives have not been really effective. Many cooperatives operate slowly, not attracting the active participation of farmers. Many farmers join cooperatives and then switch to a small self-production.
The audience recently, people in Thuận Tây Hamlet, Lợi Thuận Camille, Bến Cầu districts have been very upset with the situation of waste not being put in bins, but being rural waste on lots and public area. They pollute the environment and stink.
According to information recorded by reporters, the trash containers are lying around. They seem to be losing their effectiveness. Meanwhile, trash bags are scattered along the roadside. It's not only causing unsavliness, but also polluting the environment. Every month, environmental staff collect 2 or 3 times a week. There are few boxes like that, but they don't put them into the bins. It's fresh, so it just looks dirty. People pay for trash collection themselves, or rental house operators pay for trash collection. Some people don't pay. Mr. Phuong's family lives near the garbage collection point. Even though it's 30 to 40 meters away, when the wind blows, the smell from the garbage is still very terrible. Garbage even flies straight into the house. The cause of this situation, according to Mr. Phuong, is that some people's awareness is still very limited. Many people passing by also throw away just carelessly. In general, this situation of indiscriminate waste has been left forever. That's lasting for several years now. Garbage collection from environmental sanitation is not synchronized. Those who pay money will be collected by the environmental sanitation staff. For example, in this area or that place, it's collects trash out here, but sometimes people don't pay anymore. Facing to the above situation, the people live in Thuận Tây Hamlet want to have a place to collect waste according to regulations, both creating aesthetics and ensuring environmental hygiene.
The audience in recent years, the livestock situation in TayNinh has been relatively stable. In previous year, when the disease appears in livestock and poultry, the animal husbandry and veterinary sector intervenes promptly, so it did not spread widely. Experts also recommend that farmers need to be more vigilant because the disease can return at any time. Up to now, the total livestock and poultry herds across the province is estimated to reach 9.7 million Vietnamese đồng, an increase of 5.4% over the same period in 2022, in which the number of pigs increased the most, more than 282 and 700 at the present time, an increase of 34% over the same period. This is explained by the breeders restocking their herds for sale at the end of the year. Then the authority organized the zonings and rurally handled the outbreak. In addition, they vaccinated to prevent disease, strengthen quarantine management, and control animal transportation. It is recommended that farmers regularly disinfect their barn. From there, it was minimize the losses of farmers. Diseases in livestock are always well controlled, so TayNinhTV province were chosen as the point to build a disease-free zone in livestock and poultry. Regarding poultry in 2021, TayNinhTV only has one outbreak of bird flu in Tân Binh district, with only 35 infected chickens. The disease was controlled. From 2022 until now, there has been no bird flu in the entire province. Currently, the total poultry herds in the province reaches 9.4 million Vietnamese đồng. The risk of influenzas always exists around the environment. TayNinhTV is a border area. There is still cattle and poultry, and disease can spread from the periphery. Livestock farmers and the specialized industry are closely cooperating. But livestock and veterinary staff have never neglected their duties and always advise farmers to be alert to disease. In recent days, some provinces in the Southwest and Central Highlands have had African white fever. Facing to this situation, the TayNinhTV animal husbandry and veterinary sector want farmers to strengthen coordination and controls of transportation and slaughter of livestock and poultry. The People's Committee of TayNinhTV province has issued an official dispatch requesting the heads of prevalent departments ranches to practically and synchronously deploy solutions to prevent and control epidemics in livestock and poultry, strictly implement quarantine work at source, controls transportation and storage of livestock and poultry in the province, deploying sanitation, disinfections throughout the province, is aimed at preventing, especially during the current unpredictable epidemic situation.
The Department of Conservation and Plant Protection of TayNinhTV said that the summer-autumn rice crop in 2023 in the whole province will be reduced to nearly 46,700 hectares, equal to 99% of the rice area in the same period. By the end of September, on this rice crop area was harvested, the average yield was estimated at 5.5 tons per hectare. The total output was more than 250,000 tons. Like some river crops, this year's summer-autumn rice fields appear white-winged harbors, leaflets, but in mild severity, often appearing in late seed plots. However, it does not affect the yield much. On the contrary, the price of rice is higher than river crops. Many traders come to buy fresh rice in the field. Rice rows are very happy. The largest area cultivation area in Hoa Thanh Town is the Vam Cỏ Dom Riverside area in Long Thanh Nam Camille. The family of Mr. Phạm Văn Ninh has been growing rice here for nearly 30 years, and he affirmed that there has never been a crop with rice as high as this summer-autumn crop. Previously, the winter-spring crop rice had increased, but this summer-autumn crop was even higher. He cultivated 5 hectares, harvested later than everywhere. The average yield was 5.5 to 6 tons per hectare, but sold for 7,800 Vietnam đồng per kilogram. At the time of cultivation of this year's summer-autumn rice crop, fertilizer price also decreased compared to previous crops. Most farmers who have just finished harvesting easily sell fresh rice in the field. The price of rice increases over the same period. Unlike many years ago, towards the end of the season, rice tend to increase. The rice cultivator said that if the rice is as high as this year, rice growers will regain trust in this traditional crop.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.